and in 3 days, the bacteria is 65 zeros. And that's only one bacteria to start with, and there's always a lot more than that. So what happens, that's what on a cubic yard of compost, there's 900 pounds, about 45% of it is dead bacteria skins. And it's perfect. If you look at your skin cream, it will say humectants. That's what the skin of the bacteria is. It's a glucose-based, sweet, delicious plant food, like we said. So, I'm over here in the long, slow decline
You
part.
want to use the microphone? I don't know
Still?
if everybody cares.
Oh, how good is that? Boy, I can do that now that I'm not playing the guitar. So the long, slow decline over here, things die, animals and fungi decompose. Necromass, the mass of dead material in the soil. And then humus and soil aggregates are forming. Humus is a step above the tiny pieces of compost. And see, with 2 million people in the metro and 30 in this room, there's a lot of people who don't understand what's the balance of life and death. We're on the green side of the grass. We think everything here is alive, but guess what? Half of life is death. Half of life is reconstruction, decomposition. Everything you ever ate, in fact, all the parts of the view, came out of this cycle. And it can't be anything other than 50-50. And so, I don't know if this slide comes up right away. You know, if we didn't have decomposition, we'd be buried in dead animals right away, dead leaves, everything. It would all stop. And this is mouse food. Mice eat the bones and the antlers. And so Robert Howard is my hero. We coexisted on the planet for about 18 months, between 46 and 48. But he just said there's a law of return. You cannot take and take and take and take and take and take, because you'll take it, you'll take it all, and there won't be anything to give. And he was the first guy to put together a formula for large scale composting that got hot and produced a good product quickly. It's a whole mindset. And people don't so much have the mindset in this culture, which means I have a good job security. It's like Legos. And the point is, come on down. You want as many colors as you can get. You know, these kids today that are made out of Ho-Hos and Twinkies, it's like red, white, and orange, right? But think about it. Kansas City's 40 miles square, has 40 or 50 species of trees, all those different chemistries for all those different plants with all those leaves. How much chemistry is in 50 tons of food waste we take every day? You know, what do we eat? We eat the roots and the seeds and places where the plants are putting all their energy to make their babies, right? And we steal the most nutritious parts. So compost has all those building blocks in it. And compost is a giant mineral pill. Because you know the ash when you burn the organic matter? That's minerals. And this a big chunk of this dried compost is minerals. But what we want is all the colors in our compost, and when our compost is made out of the richest possible sets of ingredients we can get. And there are some compost 201. This is the, you know, how to really enhance your compost in several different ways. And the reason why it's important, of course, is the waste stream. And right now we're collecting, I would say maybe 55 tons of food waste a day, but there's 2 million pounds being produced every day in the metro. So that's 2 million pounds. I can't do that. We're collecting about 5 or 6% of the food waste in the city. We're at 50 tons. It would take 20 more plants like we have to do it, about $20 million per plant. Anyway, I love the picture of this landfill. You know that's a rotten, stinking methane bomb. There's all kinds of food waste itself is a huge stink material. It's wet, it comes in wet. The yard waste, only the grass clippings are wet, the rest of it's fairly dry. But the waste wood and soil paper are not dry. 1% is diapers. Well, that's good organic matter in that. But if we really composted everything we could compost, we cut our waste in half and double the life of our landfills, right? So let's see if this can work. Oh, here's where I would push my mouse button, click on this. I've got a mouse.
Try clicking the center of the clicker.
The center, the
Yeah.
green.
Just the, yeah, try that.
Sorry. This is the landfill gas being flared at the least of the landfill. It's a nasty thing. So that's what's coming out of our landfills, and if we don't collect it, it's just belching. So composting food waste is a great idea, but we have the two best collection services in the city, because Compost Collect at KC and KC Can Compost collect it from people who pay to drop it off, and they're scrupulous. We don't get the level of contamination. Zero Organic gets stuff from grocery stores, from the guy who was hired yesterday, who didn't get any training, and who was told just to put those plastic containers and stuff. You can see the level of contamination here. And because of that, we need the food waste to make a lot of compost, but when you go up, you get more contamination as you go. We're running about 16% contamination. So here's a video. This is my boss, Kevin Anderson. The blue thing is a machine from Italy called a Tiger depackager. It slices the food waste, dumps it into 60 gallons of water a minute, which washes the food waste out of the plastic and the cardboard and spits the food waste out as a slurry. It's a polite term. It's food slop, okay? And then the cardboard, these tanks behind, we collect the food waste and store it, because there's days when we don't get any food waste, there's days when the machine is broken and we're able to keep operating by storing the food waste.
Facility in the United States that has one of these machines, this Tiger depackager. We are the only facility in the United States that does it this way. So as you can see behind me, the plastic is falling on the floor, it goes to waste to energy, the food waste gets pumped in tanks that you see, and then into the mixer. The mixer creates the compost mix. The compost takes about 6 to 8 weeks. And then all the stuff you see behind me also is going to waste to energy. So it goes to a cement plant where it gets burned for energy.
You could have a lot of questions about that.